In today's episode of Manabonded, Nate shares some bar-hopping war stories.
I got a good 5. I got a good once. I got a really solid 4.
Josh gives the worst summary of a game of Magic the Gathering ever. It's a game with cardboard where we're all hallucinating together. Zack goes to an indie film festival in the mountains.
I saw a movie like that once where a mummy pulled someone's brain out with a coat hanger. That's not quite a lobotomy, but close.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Manabonded, the Magic the Gathering advice show where you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I'm Josh, your host, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Nate and Zach. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing all right. Wish I kind of got some cooler pulls at pre-release, but
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
it's me.
I'm not gonna throw a fit about it.
Good.
You pull what you pull, and you don't throw a fit. You know.
Right.
Exactly.
You get what you get.
Yeah. Speaking
Side
of,
note. Side note for wait. Side note for all the viewers. I'd like to say that our names in our Discord are now shark themed.
a couple of ours are.
Yeah.
Somebody still hasn't
because
changed
the
their
Sharkapella
name to
episode. Hashtag
Hey, I
throwback.
was going to change it because I saw that, but then I was also driving my car when I saw the message pop up and notice.
Yeah, that's
and I
true.
decided not to change my Discord name while I'm driving. Trying to be at least a somewhat responsible driver.
No, yeah,
Texting and driving,
probably
not good.
Idea.
Sharkapella and driving, pretty good.
Sharkapella while driving is recommended by the USDA. Anyway, so yeah, we just had the Lorwyn Eclipsed pre-release this last weekend, and the vibes I was getting from the internet were, it's a great set. Everyone's very happy with the set. It's a knockout. It's a complete home run. Knocked it out of the park.
It's Lorwyn.
It's magic like we remember. And then also there's a bunch of stupid turtles running around everywhere. How did these stupid turtles get in my freaking Lorwyn?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in my Lorwyn Eclipsed. It's more likely than you think. Schedule a free PC check now.
Press on this for your free virus.
Anyway, yeah, so did you guys have any, I guess Nate was the only one who did a pre-release, but did you see any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards coming out in your pre-release?
Or did you hear about any of them?
So we didn't. I saw some posts about them, and it's giving me the vibes of we're gonna have Spider-Man all over again. We're gonna get basically all the two turtle brother pairs that there possibly can be. We're gonna get bad guys in like 3 different forms, and then also bad guy team ups.
Yep.
So
yeah, I am a little frustrated.
Very Spider-Man.
Like, obviously, classic WotC quality control, right?
Yeah.
Like, this has happened before. Occasionally, we'll get 1 or 2 from the set that is ahead of it that get mixed in. It's happened before, but never to this, like, level, which is pretty frustrating. And normally I wouldn't care so much. It would be like, ooh, bonus spoiler season for the next set. Except I don't care about the next set. I don't want the next set to happen. And it's completely overshadowing what should have been an awesome weekend for an incredible Magic set. You know? That's what makes me so frustrated about this.
I agree. You want to hear my my theory that I'm sure a lot of other people agree with?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I'm ready. Wait. Conspiracy theory corner. Let's go.
Conspiracy theory corner. Okay, I got in the corner. My conspiracy theory is that it wasn't actually on accident.
Yeah.
I think they did it on purpose.
I could see that.
There's so many
Wizards
cards
of the Coast
out that what would they have and how spread out they are in different things. They don't mix up. As far as I know, they don't mix up big batches of pre-release kits. So if you got one and it was a mix-up, it makes sense if a whole store had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards.
Or like that whole area, like the east side of the US. Like they for some reason are only happening there. That would make more sense.
Or at least all the stores in the area would have like 2 or 3
similar problems. Yeah.
Yeah, but did they just the only way I could see it happening is if they just had a rare sheet, which was clearly what it'd be for pre-release cards, but they just threw a rare sheet in the stack of Larwin cards before they put it in the packaging.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Why do you think they did on purpose?
But yeah,
why would you think they did on purpose?
Because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is
just to hype it up.
It's gonna flop.
Yeah,
TMNT is not exciting of a set. It's gonna flop. It's gonna be like Spider-Man, and I think this was a desperate attempt to get people excited by showing them a bunch of cards. The sad part is a lot of creators get these spoiler cards well in advance of the spoiler season, and they build content for it, and they queue up posts and videos about the new card. They make them and they work with them, and to have this, basically every rare in the set and mythic rare has been shown at this point, right? Because that's how bad this was. This is a small set about the size of Spider-Man. Every rare and mythic rare in the set is out there now, basically. So, as a content creator, this would be heartbreaking and possibly damaging to the business, right? Because these are the cards that I was ready to show to generate content, possibly have a sponsor lined up, right? I was ready. I was going to make money off of this, and now nobody's going to look at it because it's a card they saw 3 weeks ago.
They've already seen.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I remember something similar happening in the original Ixalan block. I don't remember what it was called. There was Rivals of Ixalan, and then I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was just Ixalan and then Rivals of Ixalan.
Okay, I believe it was Rivals of Ixalan then. About 2 weeks, or a week before spoiler season started, somebody stole a uncut sheet of rares from the printer, and they attempted to sell said uncut sheet online. Photos circulated, everybody saw it, and Wizards basically had to rework their entire spoiler schedule and basically say, yep, this was out there, here is the full list of cards that were either fully shown or partially shown on this rare sheet. We will now just switch and we'll show you guys a bunch of other cards instead. And we'll just change out how we're going to do our spoiler season this time. I don't see them being able to do it this time. They've lost all their rares and mythics. All they've got left are a handful of uncommons and commons. It's devastating. And the most devastating part of the whole situation is that we are focusing on this instead of how great Lorwyn was.
True.
Yeah, I hadn't even picked up cards before I started seeing leaks for it.
Yeah.
Leak from Turtles.
That's crazy.
Hadn't cracked a single pack yet.
Yeah, just nuts.
That is crazy. I think it's also what I really hated was if you had a pre-release kit that had a Turtles card as the promo instead of a normal one, the store is responsible to give you a new pre-release pack that's not messed up. And I don't like that Wizards of the Coast is putting it on the store to provide that, because I know, at least at Pro Souls games, the one that Nate usually goes to, they sometimes don't have enough packs for everyone, because they're a little bit of a smaller store in a smaller town. But there are stores like that, and it's I can't just give someone a new pack. So does that mean that person can now use that turtle card in their sealed pool? Because now it's not fair to the other
I believe that was the Wizards' announcement about the situation was, if you cannot replace the promo, you may use the promo in your Lorwyn Eclipse pack.
Yeah, so if I'm playing against cards I don't even know, what am I supposed to do? I should know what I'm playing against or have an idea of what I could expect or possibly see.
Right.
I mean, it's a pre-release. It's not insanely competitive, but at the same time.
Right, yeah. Speaking of pre-releases and performances, Nate, as the only one who did a pre-release this weekend, how did you do?
Yeah, boy. So on So I mentioned it before, but Pro Souls Games, the one that we're just talking about, they have 6 different pre-releases that they do across the weekend. Yeah, 6 different ones. I always forget that they don't count the VIP one in there. So they got a sealed on Friday at 6, a sealed on Friday at 10, a sealed on Friday or Saturday at noon, a sealed two-headed giant Saturday at 6, and then a draft on Sunday at noon. And if you sign up for all of those before the start of the weekend, or if you really want to, as the weekend is going on, as somebody at the store did, they paid for the VIP ticket, which is $180, right a little bit before the VIP event, and were able to participate in it. You get a special 6th event, which is a free entry for a sealed, and the only prize on the line there is a box of the new set.
So full box play
Full
boosters
box.
of
Yep.
lore win eclipse. Yep.
Exactly. And so I
It's a
do
pretty
that.
good price. Pretty good price.
Yeah. I've done it the whole time since they switched back to this version. For a while, they had it set up as Wizards of the Coast wanted them to. I don't know if it's still a thing. Wizards wanted to have the pre-release be like a week thing.
Mhm.
Pro Souls eventually got to a point where like my players don't come to half the events throughout the week, so we're doing it on the weekend like we used to.
Yeah.
So Friday, 3-0 for the 6 o'clock, 3-0 for the 10 o'clock. Saturday, 1-2 for the noon, 2-0-1 for the two-headed giant, 3-0 for the VIP event, which is great.
Whoa. 3-0.
So
Josh,
3-0.
Josh, watch out.
It's a single elimination.
Shut up.
It was single elimination, and with the person buying in, we randomly had a buy for the first round. We usually have it for the second round. So I lucked out and got the buy first round.
Nice.
But my kit was absolutely bananas. I'll talk about it after I finish the stuff for that one. And ended up beating the guy who entered last minute in round 2 after he destroyed his opponent round 1. And then round 3, beat the guy in a great game 1. And then game 2, he got mana screwed. So I was able to pull it out there. Yeah. We did agree before we went into the finals that no matter what happened, we were going to split the box, and first place got the golden ticket.
Okay.
All right.
Because I like doing that kind of thing, and if I get to VIP, if I get to the finals, I like to split if I have the golden ticket already, and go, hey, are you cool with just splitting? And
then I can give you the golden ticket.
You get 10 packs out of the box, and then I get the rest.
Have we talked about what a golden ticket is at Pro Soul Games?
I don't think so.
Maybe slightly. Pro Soul Games Golden Ticket is a reusable
Ontario,
10%
Oregon.
off.
#, not a sponsor.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
We could be. I love them. I would absolutely.
They are great people.
They are. They really are.
So it's a 10% reusable coupon on purchases of product $20 or more. So you can't use it on entry fees to events or things, but you can use it for singles, for sealed product, for snacks, buying stuff. And it's usable for the whole year. So since I've got it on the
8th of January.
I got it on technically got it on the 17th, but got it in my hand on the 18th. Yesterday. It'll be very useful as we go through other sets this year. And
getting it in January is incredible because now you've got it for the whole year.
Yeah. I am the second person to get a Magic Golden Ticket. The only person who has it before me is the person who won the VIP event or won the Magic Golden Ticket thing at ProCon, which is the other thing the Golden Ticket gets you into. It gets you a free entry into Pro Souls gaming convention that they do the first weekend of the year. They've done it the last 2 years. And you get into one event for free. You can use that for the golden ticket event, or you can use it for any other non-premium event. Golden ticket event's great because if you win that, you get a golden ticket plus a box of whatever set you want from the upcoming year. And then second place gets a box. third place, I think it's a commander deck from the year, and I think fourth place might also get the same. And I think it does skew a little bit depending on how many entries there are for the event. But I'm excited because hopefully this year my car won't break down and I can actually go to the event.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right. But my VIP deck, I crack the packs, and as I'm opening them, I'm like, oh, I'm playing green-white. Just the packs were screaming that to me because I opened 2 Figure of Fable.
Ooh.
For those who don't know what it is a 1-mana 1/1 that costs 1 hybrid Azorius, so 1 white or green.
Hybrid Celestia.
No, Azorius. Sorry, Celestia. Yeah. And then you can use 1 white or green to change it into a 2/3 Kithkin Scout. And then you can pay 1 and then 2 white or 2 green or a combination of them to, if it's a scout, make it into a 4/5. Make it from a scout into a soldier. Then if it's a soldier, you can pay 3 and 3 hybrid Celestia to make it into a Kithkin avatar with base power and toughness 7, 8, and protection from each of your opponents. So
that's pretty good in limited.
Well, the great part about I like it in limited, and the deck ended up doing a lot of, was it was I'm going to play second main phase, which is a very classic thing to do in higher competitive, where you might play your land in the first main phase, but then you go to combat unless you want to do something relevant in the first main phase. And so I would swing with this, and I'm swinging it to 1/1. They're like, cool, I'll block it with a 2/2. Cool, I'll pay 1. Now it's a 2/3. And then later I'd be like, I'm going to swing with a 2/3. And I've got 3 mana up. So that's a weird block because do I send enough in front of it to kill it and maybe have it get bigger and then kill my guy? Or do I multi-block it? It's a fun thing where I'm like, I can choice fatigue my opponents by doing that.
At the same time, you don't know if you have a combat trick as well.
Right. Yeah. The joke's on them. I had done. This deck was.
Well, they don't know that. They don't know that.
I think it was like 25 creatures and 1 enchantment.
Wow.
I had no instants or sorceries in the deck. Another thing that was sick was Kinscar Sentry. It's another Kithkin buddy. This deck was pretty heavy on the Kithkin.
That was green white. It's like draft archetype, though, right?
Yeah. It's one of the draft
Kithkin,
archetypes.
Yeah.
Kithkin are pretty good about going wide and then having some payoffs for being wide, and then having payoffs for having dudes enter a lot. And the Sentry is actually one of those payoffs for going wide because he's a 2/2 with first strike and lifelink, which is great early game. You can trade up on blockers, but the ability that actually did wonders for me in the late game was whenever he attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield with a mana value of X or less, tapped and attacking, where X the number of attacking creatures.
Dang.
So yeah, I was playing
definitely helps.
Yeah. Well, I was sitting here and swinging with a Figure of Destiny or another guy. There's an elf in the set that can only be blocked by 1 creature, and then you can pay 5 to give target elf +2/+2.
Oof.
That guy was also sick because he's a pretty big boy for the set. 4/4 is nothing to sneeze at. Larawen Eclipse, and when you swing, they're like, I have to block with a 6/6 to kill this, probably. Or do I, making them make choices. So I ended up going wide, and then I dropped in a 5-cost giant that gains me 3 life, or gains me life equal to greatest power among giants I control, which was him. So I'm like, here's an extra 4 damage coming at you. I gain 4 life, and yeah, it was great. Then the other real notable card was the Slumbering Walker, which is a bomb payoff for the Kithkin strat. It's one of the guys that enter with -1/-1 counters. So he costs 3 double white, enters with 2 -1/-1 counters. And at the beginning of your end step, you can remove a counter from him to reanimate a dude that has power 2 or less.
Okay.
So you kill my Figure of Death. You kill my Figure of Fable. Boom, Figure of Fable back at end step. I actually used it with the Changeling that blows up an artifact or an enchantment to stop a guy from being able to play an enchantment that you can sack to get a bunch of elves, and basically just shut him down even more than he was already kind of fallen behind. That deck was singing. I'm pretty sure the deck was solid enough that if I ended up playing all 3 rounds, I had a good chance of winning anyway.
You would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just pull the gas.
Right. And I'm happy I pulled the gas then, because
that's like the one time you won.
Yeah, a couple of previous kits I had, I looked at them, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm playing in this pre-release.
You're just sitting there looking over it. You're like, more garbage. What am I doing with this?
Yeah.
None of this goes together at all.
Yep. Or I have 2 decks, and just in case you're not super familiar with pre-release, you don't want to have 2 decks.
Yeah, it's not your
Most
goal.
of the time, it
should be.
It does not work at all.
And
There are
yeah,
people that do that.
I once got clocked at a pre-release by a monocolor deck, which you almost never see. This was back in Theros. He had built a mono red deck, but his pre-release promo was the dragon that just like dealt a boatload of damage to you, equal to the mountains you controlled. And so it was just a big 5/5 that dealt 7 to you when it entered, and so it was rough.
Dang.
Yeah,
I
Good
do
times.
like that you get to play with the cards in pre-release, and like cards that would typically be really, really bad are pretty good in 1v1 sealed. Like
Yeah.
a 4/4, typically not that good, but then when that's the best thing you get in your pack, that's a pretty good card. Like it's a pretty good pressure on the life total. Can have for 4 every turn.
Yeah,
or like
basically
just a standard
every
2/2
card.
flyer.
Yeah.
Also
right.
pretty standard, just good. Sometimes people can't deal with it. Like just wins you the game.
Right. Basically all of the cards that were like really strong for me, I probably won't play anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just how limited
But it's like
it is,
that
man.
moment in pre-release. You're like,
Mhm.
this is pretty good.
Although a big chunk of me does miss. Let me put on my old man hat for a second. A lot of me does miss the old days.
your old man hat on.
Got the old man hat on back in my day.
Back in my day.
When you went to a pre-release, that's all you had for at least a week.
Oh yeah.
I think we talked about it
That's
before,
true.
but that was a great part about the pre-releases back in the day when you couldn't get collector packs or any other packs aside
couldn't
from
buy
what
anything
you opened.
a week
Nothing.
before, because like you'd only do the pre-release, and then you could
Yep.
only buy product on the official release day.
Yeah.
Yep. The
Or at least,
only
like,
way you
get
could get more product was signing up for another event and then immediately dropping.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yep.
But then even then, why would you sign up and not just like play it to try to get more packs, right? For winning.
Back in the day, Phoenix Fire did a thing where if you dropped, they still gave you a prize pack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's
That's
a couple
fair then.
times I'd go,
Yeah.
I'd drag my brother Matthew along to a pre-release, and we would be
Like,
like,
all right, we're
I'd be
good
like,
to go.
okay, we're gonna go, but I want to get more Magic cards, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
sign us up for the event, and then we're gonna both drop.
There were quite a few times where like our friends would be like, "Hey, I'll pay your way, and then you can play, and whatever packs you win, you can keep, and then I'll just take whatever you pull for pre-release."
Yeah.
Like I'll take all the cards. Like we've done that a few times.
That's my classic for if I want somebody to play at an event. I'm like, whatever you win,
It's yours.
you get a hold on to. I just get the initial stuff.
Yeah.
Which then lets them play Magic still without having to be financially burdened.
Right.
Actually
And
purchasing
I mean-
or going into it. And you still win because you get cards that you were looking
Right.
for. So
With how big my collection is now, I think I'd probably just be hey, I'll get you in because I want to play with you, and then I'll only take cards if I really want them.
yeah, if I
Yeah.
want them or need them, yeah, you can keep the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys want to get to some questions now?
Yeah,
Spent
sure.
a good chunk of time there talking about pre-release, but overall, I think it was good. I'm glad you did so well there, Nate, and you got some good stuff
Yeah.
and walked away with some good stuff.
Right.
The question
got-
of the year: did you pull Oko? Did you pull the Okos?
I did not pull the
The
Okos.
viewers need to know.
No,
I
and
did
me,
not
the
pull the
viewer.
Okos, but I did pick up some Okos for you, Zach.
I know. I
Because
appreciate it.
I
Now I
know
can
you
put
like
them
the
in my
eye candy.
framed Oko cards
Yep.
picture frame. I
There
can
you
replace
go.
the art card slots that I have currently. New
And then I got
Okos.
the one mana guy that Josh was
Oh
hoping
yeah, the
for
Moon Shadow.
for you.
Moon
Yeah, yeah.
Shadow.
Yeah, I got a formidable speaker coming through Card Sphere this week. They just shipped it today, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Hashtag not a
I
sponsor. Never used it.
I would be.
opened 2 of them in one pre-release kit.
Oh wow.
It was
Dang,
pretty sweet.
two Moon
Yeah.
Shadows.
No,
A formidable
two
speakers.
speakers.
Formidables.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
seem good.
Yeah, one of the games we played, I discarded one to the other one to go get something else.
It's funny.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm like, we need it. We're playing 2-headed giant, and things look scary, so I went to get something else.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Question time.
All right.
Question time.
First question we're going to tackle here is from Melly. Melly sent us an email, and in this email she says, I want to play with my friends with semi-competitive decks, but I hate blue, and optimal is usually boring as expletive. My decks have always been at bracket 2. I have a list of commanders I want to build for, but I'm worried they'll be left in the dust in my pods as usual. So I reached out to Melly for a bit of clarification on this question, and she said that she has a couple decks that she wants to build in Gishath and Bria, which is a Bloomburrow otter that gives your creatures prowess.
Okay.
And she says, I haven't played in a while though, so maybe I don't remember how good the decks are, other than the Happy Couple, which is her Aragorn and Arwen wed deck. And she said, and probably a lot of it comes down to me not having the speed of everyone else. So what is some advice you've got here for Melly? So she's got a couple decks, they're just kind of not performing where she wants. What would you say?
There's two ways you can go about it.
Oh, Zack, you got it.
It's all good. I got two ways you can go about it. First way, lobotomies for your friends, because then they're not as good at math.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You can now have them be lower power instead of you going higher power.
Yeah.
Plus, who doesn't want a lobotomy these days, you know?
Yeah, lobotomizing your friends is a tactic. It is one of the moves you could make, yes.
Yeah, ice pick, hammer.
Yep, ice pick, hammer, coat hanger. I saw a movie like that once where a mummy pulled someone's brain out with a coat hanger. That's not quite a lobotomy, but close. And then the second way you could do it is you could build 4 commander decks yourself and then just have everyone play those decks, because then they're all basically the same power level of what you would play because they are decks that you had made. Most people do want to play their own decks, so it's a little bit tougher, but it is an option you can do. Or like every few games or so, you can be like, hey, you guys want to play my 4 decks that I brought together and see how they are and what I can do to make them better. And then you can also get their advice on how to power them up a little bit to match their power level.
I like that.
This is all true.
My thought on it is you can also focus on a couple things to bring up your deck's power level without actually like making it a whole lot crazier. Is focusing on ramping your mana and having not necessarily a ton of card draw, but effective card draw for your deck.
Yeah.
So if you're playing a creature heavy deck, Beast Whisper, that kind of thing.
It's definitely a very underrated and often forgotten part of Commander, that you need to have just like little incremental card advantage pieces throughout your deck just to kind of keep you moving, right? If you're playing black, you should have a lot of effects that are just like, there are players who swear by Sign in Blood, right? Which is just 2 mana, draw 2, lose 2. Just having a bunch of effects like that in your deck to kind of just smooth out your gameplay, and get you to the cards that are going to win you the game, right? Or the cards that are going to have bigger impact on the game.
Yeah,
100%. Like, you don't have to get fast mana to make your deck stronger. Like, if you just like take out a card or two and put in like a few more like Phyrexian Arena effects of like, on your upkeep, lose a life, draw a card. Like, just incremental little things that are on their own don't feel very scary, but then they just over time incrementally just slowly give you a lot of value.
Yeah.
Right.
Just don't cut a land for them.
No, you should probably cut some other things that get you more lands.
You should probably take a look at your land count. Make sure you're not too high or too low, you know?
Right. Rampant growth, 3 visits,
cultivate,
Kodama's Breach, cultivate, explosive vegetation.
The new Avatar one. Share the Roots or whatever, something like that.
Entish Restoration. That one can be good if you have a big creature deck. But there's
lots
we
talked about before, too. The green ramp of like lands coming to the field is a lot less scary than artifact ramp. Like, people don't think of it as much of a threat, but it really is very powerful.
I have got away with so many wins with my Eska deck, because for the first like 4 turns, all I'm doing is getting more lands into play. And people are like, oh, he's just getting lands. Whereas in our friend Thomas, who plays like 3 mana rocks, he's like, oh, he's going to win the game because he's got so much more mana. It's like, well, if you look at our mana ability, we're at about the same. Yeah, or I have more.
Yeah.
But I've just got lands, so that's not as scary.
To be fair, though, Thomas is just a kill on sight on, principle.
Well, he has gotten better since he left, especially since he will go, Nate, can I borrow a deck? And sometimes I let him choose. Sometimes I just hand him one.
Yeah.
He's still spiky, but he's got to play on my level.
Yeah. I would also say, Melly, and I say this with love, with a great amount of love and care, and respect for you as a player, this could be a skill issue, and this might very well be a skill issue.
I've been there.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you don't get to play very often, and that you feel like you're left in the dust with a lot of your decks. That's going to happen if you don't play a lot. I have played for over a decade now. At least, for the most part of my life, I was able to play at least once a week, if not twice a week, right? And I was able to get 5 to 6 games in a week or more of Commander, right? Like I've got a lot of Commander games under my belt. A lot more than you, which I know I can say that. I know how many games you've got, basically. This is something that comes with practice and with getting your butt kicked. One of the most, I would say, defining moments for me in like changing how I play and how I build and how I think about the game came when I was spending some time on some social medias, and I had an internet friend who was like, "Hey, do you want to try your Commander decks against me?" Right? And I was like, "Yeah, let's try it." So we loaded up Cockatrice, which is this program that kind of lets you play Magic online against other players for free. You just kind of upload a deck list. It gives you all the cards. You have to do everything kind of manually, like tapping and untapping and all that, but it's fine. It works. Anyway, we played against each other, and I just got stomped every time. They were a very like good player with a very good mindset of like how to play, and I was just uploading the simple deck list that I had already in paper, and they were like showing up with a proxy list, right? And for all intents and purposes, it looked like just they wanted to just stomp me. But afterwards, I spent like an hour picking through their brain about like, okay, so like, what do I do better? What do I remove? What do I add? And talking about card choices and why to cut certain things, right? They were one of the ones who told me early on, like, hey, stop playing tapped lands. Like, they're just not worth it, right? And this was like 7 or 8 years ago when tapped lands were, still fairly common. Nowadays, there's almost no excuse to have a tapped land, right? That land better be crazy if it's going to come in tapped. And just all these little tips and tricks that they gave to me, but they gave to me after kicking my butt, after I lost a lot. And you learn more from losing than you do from winning, but it's something that you need to take like an active approach in trying to improve and say like, okay, why did I lose here? What was I missing? Take notes. Did you lose because you didn't develop enough creatures to block? Did you lose because you didn't have the resources to keep up? Did you lose because you got hit with a combo you've never seen before, right? Marking these things down and taking a look and saying, is this something that I can fix in deck building? Is this something I can fix in my gameplay? Or is this something I need to fix with like a better mulligan or something, And it's just practice. It's being aware of your shortcomings and being aware of like what you need to do to fix those.
Right. And then I would add a little bit on there to the things to keep an eye out of, or did I not have any interaction?
Yeah, absolutely. Interaction is so critical.
Yeah, after going to college and getting my butt kicked because I didn't have any interaction, and then coming back and playing with people here back when you guys were still in high school, is definitely a thing where it's like, oh, my deck is far more interactive than most people's decks.
Oh, yeah. When everyone starts off, all they want to do is play their big stuff. I don't want to worry about having to spend card slots to get rid of things. I just want to play more cool things. And
big creature go burr.
Yeah, battle cruiser, right, is the term. You just play big stuff. Who's ever big stuff goes fastest wins. And that's kind of how people start playing Magic. And then you learn that, like, oh, if I just remove their things, my big things get through better. And you start to learn the cost and the effectiveness of interaction.
I think it'd also be good to look at your opponent's decks or your friends' decks while you're playing with them and like see like what specific cards that you can see are really pushing them forward or making their deck stronger than yours.
Yeah.
Because like there is like a variance, like sometimes you just don't draw good or whatever, or you just don't get your lands. Like it happens. But like at the same time, you can and should be able to at least like talk to your friends and be like, hey, like what card in your deck is making it feel complete? Like what is making it feel stronger?
Yeah.
It's like obviously game changer cards are a thing, but like small draw engines of like, oh, I didn't think about that in like my artifact strategy of this card, that whenever I play an artifact, I draw a card. Like that's pretty good. And my deck has quite a bit of artifacts. Maybe I should run.
Yeah, it is. You got to look at your list. You got to look at what you are running, what you're not running, right? Like I have been sitting there when I've got some free time at work and I'm just bored, like on a break or something. I've been pulling up my Mox Field list for my Tyam deck, and I've just been hitting the deal a new hand button on the list, which just shows you kind of a test opener hand. And I've been looking at it and trying to think through my mulligans a little better and seeing like, okay, does this need to be, is this a good hand? Where does this get me? What's my game plan with this hand, right? And thinking about like, does this hand let me get to my commander quick enough? Does this let me get to a Tyam activation quick enough? But that's something you can do with any deck, is you can pick it up when you're bored, just shuffle it up, deal out 7, look at it and go, is this a good hand? Right? Like, how fast do I get my commander out? How fast am I developing resources, right? Not just lands, but maybe card draw. How fast am I doing something, right? And a hand might look good, right? You might see some really strong cards in it, but if you don't have the ramp to get there, it's not a good hand. Or if it has only ramp, but nothing to do after, then it's not a good hand either, right? So mulligans are a huge
trap
part
hands
of
are
this.
a big thing.
Yeah.
Trap hands are very much a thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is a big mistake more casual and newer players make. Mulliganing is not there to trick you. Mulliganing is there to make it so you get to play Magic with everybody else.
Yep.
A good 5 is far better than an iffy 7 or an okay 6.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. If your hand, you were going to just sit there with 3 dead cards in it anyway, you should have just mulliganed to 4.
Because you really don't have 7 cards.
Yeah.
Because you're not playing them.
At the pre-release, I regularly was like, oh, this hand I cannot play. I'm going to mulligan. And that ended up winning me the game because I got a good 5. Once I got a really solid 4, and it won me the game.
I kept a cEDH hand that was Island, Thassa's Oracle. That's it. That's the whole hand I kept. Or maybe it was like a blue-black land and a Thassa's Oracle. My turn 1, I drew a Vampiric Tutor, and I managed
to remember this game because I was playing in it.
Yeah, you were in this game. It was great. I cast Vamp Tutor for my Mnemonic Consultation, and then the game just became waiting to draw the other lands I needed to win the game, and I did win. Granted, totally shouldn't have. Definitely got a little bit of king making on that game, but still, like sometimes that's just what you got to do.
But like that's the thing. You had a plan.
Yeah.
Of like, I have one half of my combo. I went down to 3 or 2. Like, there's only so much you can do at that point. But like, at least you have somewhat of an idea of like, here's my out. Here's how I win. Here's how I get out of this.
Yeah.
And like, especially in like cEDH, there's a lot of moments where you have to mulligan down pretty low, and it's just you're out of the game. Like your goal is to go for a tie. That's just how, at least in the US, cEDH tournaments are. Like ties are better than losses.
Yeah.
And so like your goal is to make sure somebody doesn't win, because, or if you have good draws, you pivot to trying to win.
Yeah.
But like there's some moments where you just have to realize like my out is a draw, and like sometimes you can do that, but not always. But in like casual games, it's a little bit harder. You just gotta do what you gotta do and be like, hey guys, I'm on 3. I went down to 3 and I have like 1 land. Like, just don't hit me, please. Or be like, like I'm not a threat. Other people are scarier. Just like push the blame away. But
yeah, and I'll always plug this, but like cEDH is great if you want to become a better player. Like cEDH will push you to think more about your steps and the turns that you're going to take. It'll force you to think more about interaction points and what to use when. It's a great way to really up your game and become a better player.
I 100% agree with that.
And if you want to do it in a not like that kind of event, you can do other things. It's a different vibe than Commander, but if your budget doesn't allow and you got a little bit more free time, you can play on Arena. You can go into the Brawl on there, and you can come up against some crazy people. You can also play the constructed formats.
Yeah.
I feel like constructed formats are really good for learning, hey, this is kind of a vibe we're going for, where Commander's like more fun and vibey, unless you get into the higher power.
I think you can also just talk to your friends and be like, hey, like I have these deck ideas and I want to build it in a way that's on a fair level with your decks. Can you guys help me find out different cards or build it better to like compete with you guys? Because they are clearly at least decent deck builders if they have better decks than you. And so like with their input and help, it should be able to build one in a similar vein, at least, while still being your commander and pet cards in there.
Absolutely.
I do not so much with commander decks, but a regular thing I do at pre-release is with people that I know and that I'm familiar with. I'm like, hey, I need to cut 2 cards from this sealed deck, and I'll just hand it to them, and then we'll kind of go over, hey, what cards should we cut? Helpful talking to people about deck construction.
So to wrap it all up, it's communication is key.
Yay!
Yeah,
talk to your friends.
Communication is
Just like
big in like a
everything in
lot
life.
of things. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Also, with the Mulligan thing, I get it, because as an anxious little bean, I'm sitting there Mulligan and everyone else has been sitting there for like 5 minutes waiting for me to shuffle my cards. And I'm like, oh, guys, I got a Mulligan again. And then I just feel bad. But like, you have a Garfield-Given right. A Garfield-Given right to Mulligan your hand. So do not feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it.
You have a Garfield-Given right to mulligan down to 3 if you want to, all right? Nobody can stop you.
Or 0. You can mulligan to 0, and they can't say shit about it.
Exactly.
I have done that before, and it can be fun if you have a gentleman's agreement to see what the top deck gods decide.
Yep. All right. I hope that helped. Long story short, take a look at your deck construction.
We'll do better next time.
Yeah, if not, if it didn't help you, that's on you. I don't know. I feel like we're great.
It's a free service, right?
Check your deck list, check your skill, and just get good.
And check yourself. Boom!
All right, let's move on to this next question. This question comes from r/EDH from user Min Chang. Easy to read. Thank you. They talk about etiquette on scooping to stax. I had a game today that has got me thinking. An opponent understated the power of their deck and brought a heavy stax deck to a low bracket 3 game. Whatever, no big deal. The issue arose when on my turn 5, I scooped. The reason being was I'd missed 2 lands, had my board wiped, hand emptied, and I was limited to 1 mana per turn. Now to me, that's a perfectly acceptable reason to scoop. I don't care that I've got a 2% chance of pulling through. You got me. I lost. Good game. Let's have another. The stax players seem to think that they're entitled to be able to play out the game to the bitter end. Personally, I feel that if you're going to play stax decks, you have to accept you won't see them all through. Am I alone in this?
Nope.
No, you're not, Min Chang. I totally agree with you. I am, look, I feel like I'm the villain here, okay? I love Storm. I like stax, too. I do. I like being the guy who's going to play the cards. They're going to lock people down to the point where they can draw, and then they can't do anything else, and they pass. And I get to just keep playing the game, right? I love that strategy. And I think it's a perfectly valid thing to do if I've got the board locked down to the point, like you say, where like you have no hand, no board, you're drawing 1 card a turn and you're playing 1 land a turn, and that's all you can do. I think it's perfectly fine for my opponents to just say, okay, I'm done. I don't think I can win this. I don't want to try to win this. This is terrible, and I quit. And that's fine. I think that's a totally acceptable thing to do in a game against a stax player.
Absolutely. As my initial jump in of nope, I completely agree. You should be able to just say, I'm good. Good job. You got me out of the game. It sounds like the person might be a little bit of a sadist. Want to see people suffer. Jokingly calling them a sadist, of course, but you know.
I just think that there's a lot of this negative connotation of scooping in the game, right? Where we feel like if you just concede, you're a quitter and a failure, and you could have won, you got to play to your outs, right? But, and there's even like gentlemen's agreements about like, you can't concede unless it's your turn. right? Conceding at sorcery speed only, right? Only on your turn, only when nothing else is going on. You can't just like quit the game, right? And while I agree that's probably a good rule to keep people from abusing that and to keep people from preventing other players from winning by quitting early, I don't think we should completely prevent players from just saying, hey, you know what? I'm good. I'm out. This is really frustrating to me. I don't want to keep playing this. Don't make me sit another 2 turns watching people cry about their empty hand and no lands, right? I just want to be done.
I don't personally tend to concede, but I perfectly reasonable for other people to. I've seen it a little bit more recently with Tuesday Night Commander, specifically round 3. There's a couple people that I'm like, oh, you're popping off. Cool, you're popping off. There's not anything I'm going to be able to do with it. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. I'm just going to go home.
Yeah.
And so I think conceding is fine. Conceding at basically any time is fine. As long as you understand that pretty much the rest of the table is probably going to be like, yeah, they still get whatever advantage they were going to get. Like I've had games where, yeah, I've had games where somebody tried to concede at instant speed to stop them from getting a couple Yuriko triggers.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that necessarily, but it's still legal.
Yeah, like the life gain. The life gain you would get from like hitting someone, but they conceded before. You should still get that life.
Yeah.
Like you're dealing the damage.
Yeah, that over at Phoenix Fire, it is a rule, kind of like house rule thing, where they get the advantage still. They still get the thing. You're still going to get those Yuriko triggers even if you concede. And the funny thing is, like, I think Yuriko still ended up winning, but the guy not conceding ended up making the game go from like one-sided to actually a struggle for the Yuriko player. Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
Conceding's fine.
Yeah, conceding is totally fine. If you just feel like you're just not going to win it, go for it. Just concede and move on to the next game. And more often than not, I feel like you can get the rest of the table to concede with you. And everybody can just kind of agree, okay, I'm done. Are you guys done? And everybody can just say, yep, we're done. And you'll all concede and you'll move to a better game.
Yeah.
I think it's tough because conceding does have that connotation of like it feels very salty just doing it. But
yes,
you're like in that moment of like, it's a game. You're supposed to be having fun at some level. Like, and that's the point of it, right? That's what we're doing. It's a hobby. We're supposed to be having a good time.
Yeah.
If you're not having a good time, get out of there. Like,
if you're not enjoying it, don't do it.
You got it. You win. Cool. Do you want to play the next one? Want to play another one? Cool. Let's do it again. Like,
or I've definitely had a few times where I'm like, I've had a bad week. I want to come play Commander. I'm getting shut out. Well, I guess Commander's not the way I'm gonna, self-regulate this week. So I've had times where I just pack it up and go home.
Yeah, that's happens.
Perfectly fine. Sometimes you gotta do that,
Yeah. Don't take it out on other people. Just, take care of yourself.
And like recognize when you're getting a little frustrated too, and just like you're like, hey, I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna go home. Like, cool. Not a big deal.
Yeah, it's you gotta just do what's gonna be fun for you. It's a game, right?
It's a game.
And it's a game with cardboard where we're all hallucinating together. Okay, it's not a big deal. If you want to stop playing, you stop playing.
Exactly.
So this next question we have comes from the competitive EDH subreddit, from a user that I believe is just a throwaway account. It's a long username. I'm not going to read it all. I give up. So
it says throw, so throwaway probably.
Yes, throw RA 129482262. So yeah, I'm not reading that again. So they want to talk about the pilot skill versus the deck/card quality. They say, I'm considering going to a tournament near me this month. I will have fun regardless, but I would like to play well for once. I have historically played non-meta decks, such as Selvala Storm back in the day, Derevi, Malcolm Kedis, and most recently, Vivi. I have loved every one of these decks and have spent a lot of time on the last two. If I want to do well, assuming I have 5+ years of experience with cEDH in general, should I just pick up Blue Farm or Rogsai or something for this tournament? Meta decks like Sisay or Kinnan are probably a bad idea, but a basic Breach or Thoracle/Consult deck, I surely can't go wrong, right? Anyway, just curious about your thoughts on how valuable deck familiarity is versus deck quality. And I think it's that last question we want to talk about. So he mentions a lot of cEDH decks, so we won't go into all of them. But basically he's asking, is it better to play to the meta and play a meta deck, or is it better to play something off meta but you're very familiar with? What do you guys think?
Depends on the timing. Do we have a month? Like, are they picking up the deck now and doing it for a month and they get to play regularly, or are they going to get like 5 or 6 games in before the tournament?
So it sounds like
answer is drastically different.
About a month. About a month, or they have a month.
It sounds like the question is they either have 1 month to familiarize themselves with a meta deck, or they can spend that month practicing with a deck they already know very well, but is not meta, right?
I personally am of the camp, if you are familiar with the decks, at least a little bit, and you kind of understand the lines already, and you can get the practice in to do it, then yeah, picking up a new deck is probably fine. What I would probably do is just do a deck that you're more familiar with, because especially if it's off meta, you can sneak in wins with it, where people might not see it coming.
Yeah.
I personally would not pick up a new deck and try and do it in a month, because I get to play EDH twice a week, and one of those times I might play cEDH once, and the other time I will probably not play it at all. So I'd have to go to the other shop that has a cEDH night and get some serious grinding in if I was going to do that.
Yeah. Zach, as somebody who plays a couple more cEDH tournaments than us, what's your take on this then?
I personally, like, realistically, if we're speaking just numbers, everybody in the format would be playing Blue Farm. It's the number 1 deck, the most powerful deck. It's a good deck. Like, it wins games, no doubt about it. But it's not fun. Like, everyone who plays Blue Farm will tell you they're not having a lot of fun playing it, because it's just the same thing over and over and over again, which a lot of cEDH can kind of feel that way at times. But I think, personally, a deck that you are way more familiar with is going to be a lot better in your hands than a deck that you're not as familiar with.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if you're playing a deck for 2 years, you're going to know that deck. You're going to know the matchups it's good against. You're going to understand what you're expecting to see, and then change your deck to mold towards that.
Yeah.
And I think the Brewer's advantage is a very big thing. Like, if you see like prominent creators like Comedian, he's constantly brewing random decks. Like, I think he got like top 4 with a Tiamat deck at one time. Like who plays against Tiamat? Who knows what that's trying to do? Like, like you look at a deck, you're like, I have no idea how this guy wins. And like, if you are in that situation, ask your other 2 opponents, like, has anyone played against this? What is this deck trying to do? Like, how do I stop it?
Because I did see a similar thing. Yeah. I saw a similar thing with the guy playing the horror. He played the background that makes him bigger, and he had just ways to tap and untap him. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like, there's always those little things that like, nobody knows what this guy's trying to do, and so like, you can just do what you're trying to do and be like, oh, this isn't a combo piece. And like, I don't know if it's a combo piece. I don't know what your deck does. I don't know what you're trying to do at all. But like, I think having a deck that you know more, you understand what you're trying to do, because that is the number 1 factor in any game that you have, is yourself and your actions and your decision. Like, your mulligan, now having a good mulligan is way better than having a best deck thing. Like, being able to know what you're looking for in these specific pods is a lot better when you know your deck in and out the best to your abilities than having the best deck. So I think pilot skill and knowledge of their deck is infinitely better than just having good cards. Because like, any good pilot can pick up Blue Farm and perform well. Like, it's pretty straightforward. But It's knowing the smaller details of it, of like how different is the Swiss games compared to like top 16 and top 4. Like it's a completely different game plan, different ways, because like can no longer go for a tie. Blue Farm's really good at getting ties and winning, so it's very good at getting to those top 16, top 4s.
Yeah. I think that you should always just play what you're comfortable with and what you enjoy playing. What I feel like would probably happen, right? If you walk into this tournament with a deck that you are not familiar with but feel is going to win more, is you're going to go home with maybe one win, but probably a lot of losses, a lot of mistakes, and a lot of missed opportunities that you just didn't know about because you're not familiar with the deck. And yes, Blue Farm is like easier, right? But there's still a lot you have to think about and a lot you have to worry about. It's got a lot of moving pieces where you have to consider, okay, do I push here? Do I sit for the mid game? Do I, try to control more, right? If you pick up a familiar deck and take it to a tournament, you're going to have a better chance of winning because you know your matchups, you know what you're doing, and you're going to have more fun. If you pick up a deck that you wanted to play, that you know well and you like playing, you're going to have more fun, and ultimately, to me, that's more important than performing well, because you're going to have a good time at the tournament, and you're going to learn more. With the deck that you already know a lot about, you're going to be able to add to the knowledge that you have with that deck, and you're going to be able to figure out what new information you need. Maybe there's some new cards you need to add, maybe there's new combos you need to be aware of, right? Gaia's Cradles loops and other interactions that you need to be prepared to stop. I think it's just better to bring a deck you're familiar with, a deck that you like.
It's also really fun to just talk to people about your deck. Like they're like, dude, you're playing like mono green Savala or like mono green Nissa, the elf, like landfall one. Like,
yeah.
What is this deck? Where does this even come from? Like,
or the bear.
Who made this?
Oh yeah,
or
Lumra,
the bear.
yeah.
Lumra. It's just like, I've never seen this before. Tell me about your deck. And it's such a great conversation starter, especially at like bigger tournaments between rounds. You just be like, just talking about your deck and be like, yeah. Or then maybe they'll bring up a card that you never even thought of or something like that. So it's a good way to just like kind of break the ice with your opponents as well. And it's a good way to go.
I agree. Do you kind of want to rebuild the mill guy, especially since
oh yeah, the Altar of the Brood guy?
Yeah. The guy that whenever a player mills a creature card, one or more creature cards, you make a horror, and then you play Altar of the Brood to try and loop everybody out, especially with semi-blue being more of a thing.
True.
Yeah. And the deck was just a lot of fun to play anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's some good advice for this guy. All right, so I think that'll do it for questions for this week, but as we get to the end of the episode, do you guys have anything that you want to chat about? Anything interesting that's been happening that you want to mention?
Let's see. I mean, this last week, I don't really do a whole lot besides work and then go to the pre-release, so I don't really have anything not connected to Magic going on, unless I've mentioned before. I have another buddy that got hired at the place I work, so that'll be nice. Having a friend in the office, because a friend of the show and one of my best friends, Tristan, he got me the job here. Well, put in a really good word for me, and then bugged the people about me. So I count it as he got me the job.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, that counts to me.
Yeah.
And so he is really great about trying to help his friends out. I mean, he had put in a good word for Josh when Josh had initially thought about working at the place too.
Yeah.
Our Josh?
So, I applied for that job, and they told me no. So
they told him no because he was planning on moving. And then that was legit the reason I was told by my boss at the time, that you were planning on moving and they didn't want to do that at the moment, which is funny because before you guys had planned on moving, we had 2 people working completely remotely.
Yeah. And and we didn't even end up moving for like 2 or 3 years after that. So it was kind of a ridiculous point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it made sense with your plan at the time. I can see with the boss we had at the time, and the setup we had for stuff on how that would have gone. It just so happened that the boss we had got canned, and then we got no boss for a while, and the guy who you had interviewed with became our pseudo boss for a while, even though he didn't get the pay bump, and he was just kind of running things while we were under some other random people.
I hate that so much.
And then our current manager, she got a promotion to a tier 3, and then got the manager differential, is what they called it, for a long time.
Yeah.
Basically, they're like, can you be the manager? And she's like, sure, if I get a pay differential while I'm doing it.
Yeah, like not for free.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can.
So, but yeah, no. And now it's a thing where it's like they would prefer people to at least be partially in the office. But I think if you had applied actually just like 6 months later, you would have got in and been able to still move to Utah and keep the job and work remotely.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Would have solved a lot of problems.
So, yeah. And the job is pretty good. Like, it's not too heavy of a workload. It can get busy. As long as you got decent computer knowledge, you're more of dealing with the exact same issues again and again and again than dealing with things that are super complicated.
Yeah. I mean, dealing with computer problems is one of the few things I feel like I'm okay at. You know,
right.
The name of the game, yeah.
I've joked about it a lot, but I've basically been tech support my entire life for my entire family and everyone I've known. I've built PCs for people, I've troubleshooted problems, I've helped them set up their new tech toys and whatever. Like, I do it all. I remember showing up to, I got a text from this older couple that I knew, and they said, hey, are you willing to help us set up our new Amazon Alexa? And I said, yeah, I can come do that. And we drove over there, and I knocked on the door, and when they opened it, I said, Geek Squad? And the older gentleman looked at me and said, I wasn't going to say it. And so
that's funny.
I've always been the person who has to help people out with stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've also got some work stuff going on. I've told you guys I'm on grave shift, which is terrible. Oh, I don't like it. But it is what it is.
With the on, I like it.
Yeah, it's rough. But I have a chance to get off of grave shift here. They've opened up for the shift lead on the day shift, and I'm hoping I can get it. And it does come with a pay bump, but grave shift also has a differential I'm getting. So if I go to day shift and become the shift lead, I basically get no pay bump for it.
Right.
I just stay at the exact same amount, which is fine. It's worth it to me. But we will see. And hopefully, the nice part is if I get that, it shouldn't affect any of the recording or editing time. And I might actually get a little bit more time to do that, which will be great.
Yeah, that would be nice. And then you could actually go play Magic again.
Well, I could go play Magic again, but I've told this to my shop manager, who I'm going to be interviewing for the shift lead position with, and I've told this to a couple other guys at the shop. Really, the number one reason I am going for this is I want to see my wife more. For those of you who have partners and have worked a different working schedule than your partner, you know that you don't get as much time with them as you would like. Grave shift is not as bad as swing shift, in my opinion. I think swing shift was the worst for me when I worked a job with that schedule. I saw my wife maybe 2 hours a day, tops. Like, we saw each other, like, when we woke up for about an hour. When one of us would come home for lunch or take our dinner break, or basically, and then we would see each other right before bed, and that's it. And that's all we would see each other all week long. And then the weekend would come and we could hang out, but that was it. So my biggest movement with trying to switch to day shift is I'm tired and I miss my wife and I would like to hang out with her more, please.
Great reasons.
Yeah.
Great reasons.
Valid reasons indeed.
Yeah. Well, if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, you can interrupt me, but I think that's going to do it for us this week. Yeah, if you like the music at the start and end of every episode, that music is done by Steve Brown. You can find his music at stevebrownsongs.com. The art is done by Shoutout Equipex, not AI, you stupid Reddit mods. Oh, it'll be a blooper. I'll add it later.
Random Reddit mod.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, his work is found at the link in the description. We do have a link tree that'll link you to all of our social medias across the platforms. You can click it and just head across to wherever you want to find us.
Yeah.
If you have questions you would like us to answer, or a situation you would like some advice on, you can send that to us at manabonded@gmail.com. You can also just DM one of us privately on any of our socials or anywhere that you might have our information.
I accept only carrier pigeon mail.
Yeah,
Yep.
Zach's a little harder to get in contact with, but I'll just take a DM on like Blue Sky or something, Twitter. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Josh and I both watched the socials.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on those socials, trying to make sure that we're paying attention to what comes through. We really love your guys' submissions. We love getting questions from you guys, situations to get advice on. It's a lot of fun for us to read these and to be able to answer them for you guys. If you like what you're listening to, leave us a review on whatever you're listening on, whether that be Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, other podcast app. I don't know.
If you're listening on a Walkman, let me know right now because that's sick.
How would you do that? You'd have to like record it to a cassette and then plug the cassette into the Walkman. Dude, if you're listening on a
doable.
Walkman,
It's doable.
I
It's
guess.
doable.
I might force a friend to listen to it on his CD player because he was
There you go.
rocking a CD player at the pre-release, and I might just be like, "Hey, man, I got a thing for you to listen to," and burn him a disc.
Check
Oh
out
my
my
gosh.
mixtape.
Do you
Check out
have
my
a way to
mixtape.
burn a disc?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
because like
2026.
yeah,
How do
it's
we burn discs?
2026. How many people still have ways to burn discs? Because like I do technically, I still have a CD drive for my computer that has the capability of burning to a disc. But like
same.
my computer is ancient, so like not everybody does.
My computer's
Ugh.
kind of old, but I also added it in for two different reasons. I really like physical media, so I like buying DVDs. So I wanted a way to watch DVDs on something at my house. I currently don't have an entertainment system, so the only way to watch it is on my computer. And then
PC?
B, I like old games, and a lot of old games, you can't
CDs.
find them on Steam or other platforms all the time. So I just have to use the physical copies that I have. So
That's fair.
yeah. And then also my dad has a bunch of old hardware, so he's probably got a computer that hasn't been turned on since the early 2000s that I could burn a CD on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us this week. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hope you find your dad if you got one, or if you're in a good relationship with them. If not, never mind.
So I was trying to post on Reddit because Reddit is the best place we're going to get the most eyes on it, right? Because posting on socials doesn't do us a lot of good because nobody follows us on those socials, so it's not great.
We got 4 followers on Instagram now.
Oh, heck yeah. I didn't even notice that. I think Blue Sky, we have 1, and I think it's me.
How many of those are porn bots, though?
We have 1 porn bot follower on Twitter for sure, dude.
Nice.
We got none on Instagram. We're not cool enough for a porn bot yet.
Yeah.
We'll
never
there.
mind.
We'll
we have
get
no
there.
followers on Twitter anymore. We lost
They
them.
must have banned the porn bot.
They must have banned the porn bot. Rip. Anyway, so I was trying to post on Reddit, and I posted, and I was getting the post ready, and it flagged it as I hit the post button, and it said, "Hey, this might violate the rules." And I looked through the rules, and I'm like, I don't think it does. Like, I checked this early. I've posted this before, and it never did. I don't know. So I posted it anyway after rereading it, and it was fine. And I thought it was fine. The auto moderator immediately flagged it and took it down. And I was like, okay, this is stupid. So I reached out to the mods, which was a mistake. And I messaged them. This is exactly what I wrote. I said, hey, so I'm trying to post about a podcast that I'm doing with my friends about magic, but when I'm posting, I got a warning about possibly being in violation of Rule 10 with the Content Creator Guidelines. I looked them over, and I couldn't see anything in my post that I was in violation of, so I posted it anyway. Then I got an immediate notification that it was removed, despite not breaking any rules I could find. If I have broken a rule, could you please clarify those rules to me so I don't mess this up again? And if I haven't, would you be willing to have my post put back on the subreddit again? Thank you. I got a one-line response from one of the mods. Doesn't even tell me which mod, just told me. AI-generated content is not allowed on this sub. I don't know what to say to that, right? Like,
guys, am I a robot?
Like,
am I a robot?
I am involved
Sorry
in
to tell you, Zack,
everything.
you are indeed a robot.
No, God, please.
We were kind of dicks and still gave you emotions, but we wanted to do
and pain, and pain, so we could still chop off your fingers.
Yep.
No, so
not again.
So he's like, AI generated content is not allowed on this sub, and I was like, it's not. It's a podcast that we record and I edit. It's 100% not AI generated.
I think we're
then
humans.
It says,
as far as I can tell.
Then it said the artwork of your post is blatantly AI generated. And I just lost it. I was like, what are you on about, dude? The artwork for the podcast, that was hand done by one of the guy's brothers, not AI. Trust me, I wouldn't pay for AI. And I sent him the link to his portfolio and stuff. And I was like, dude, this is not AI. I don't know what you're on, man.
What do you want from me?
And so it didn't go up. It didn't. Yeah, I just gave up. I'm like, it's not going up. I didn't get it posted, and I'm just gonna
of the
right. I don't know,
sketches
man.
of it being made. Like,
I'm
prove it's not AI.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give up, and I will attempt to post again next week for this episode.
Yeah,
AI slop, delicious.
We can also throw on there. I would recommend, if you're posting again, be like, just a snarky thing at the bottom, be like, not AI, and then just do the actual link to his stuff in the post itself.
Yeah.
If you want to be extra cheeky, do it at the top.
Yeah.
No AI art. Link to the artist.
Link to the actual art done.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Manabonded, the Magic the Gathering advice show where I can't believe I flubbed this. No. All right.
That's the power of editing.
Take two. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Manabonded, the Magic the Gathering advice show where you get what am I? This is so hard.
Everybody, well, all right. Let me get the little thingy out, the little clapper. Take three.
Okay.
Seashells by the seashore.
I know. Third time's the charm. All right. Ready?
I was born ready.
All right.
I came out of the womb ready for a podcast. Hello.
Glad that's not making in the episode. All right, here we go.
What do we? Wait.
All right.
Oh, someone's back funny.
This was back in Theros. He had built a mono red deck with his commander being it's pre-release.
His commander.
It's a mono red deck, but